Hey everyone, with Holloway Health and Life Benefits. I'm a proud ambassador with Women Unlimited, and I'm a health and life insurance broker. I'm back with the next video number 2 in the series that I'll be doing through the month of June, covering different topics about health and life insurance and legal protection. So tune in every day throughout the month of June and be sure to share this information with others who you think also might benefit from this information. So in today's video, we're going to cover the topic about health insurance. We're staying on the health insurance topic, and we're talking about the different types of health insurance. So if you've ever thought about health insurance and if you've been confused about the different options that are out there, I promise you're not alone. So today we're going to talk about just a simple overview of the different types of plans that are available to Americans so that you can make a confident choice for yourself, for your family, your business. So let's walk through some of them together. So first up, we have employee-sponsored or employer-sponsored coverage. This is the most common type of coverage in the U.S., and this is available to you if you work for a company that offers benefits. They may pay for a portion of your monthly premium, helping to make it an affordable option for you. A little known tidbit I want to make sure to explain is that it is a law that if the company employs more than 50 employees, that the company is required to offer insurance. And the company is also required to offer health benefits that they contribute to the plan and help pay at least half of the benefits for their employees. So if you are working for a smaller company, your employer may or may not be contributing to your plan. So that is definitely something that you can look into and see if you qualify for some of the other plans that I'll be talking about today. But if you work for a larger corporation, then with more than 50 employees, then it is required that your company is helping pay at least half of your benefits. And so these plans are required for the employers that are sponsoring coverage. These plans are often going to cover things like preventative care, your doctor visits, hospital stays, prescriptions. Keep in mind, though, that your options and costs will depend on the plan that your employer selects. This particular type of plan, the employer is the one that is choosing and working with different insurance companies and maybe a broker to choose the plans. And so when open enrollment comes around, and open enrollment is the time of year that you as the employee get to choose your plan. And so you may have a few different choices depending on how many people the employer has employed. They get to choose different plan options. So again, if it's a large company, they will have multiple choices. And if it's a smaller company, they may only have 1 or 2 plans to choose from. So that's employer-sponsored coverage, and so it's definitely something that you want to understand your different options when open enrollment comes around. And the second option, or the second type that we'll talk about is veteran benefits. So VA benefits are for those who served in our nation's military. So if you served, you may be eligible for health care coverage through the Department of Veteran Affairs. So the VA coverage is based on your service history, your income level, whether you have service connected to a disability. It provides a wide range of medical services, often at little or no cost to qualifying veterans. So it's definitely something for you to look into if you are a veteran, making sure that you are maximizing your veteran benefits and making sure that you understand what your options are, and make sure that you also understand what you don't qualify for so that you can look for options available to supplement, or if there are pieces that are not being fully covered based on what you have qualifications for, then you can look for some supplemental things and maybe add-ons. And so some of the other options that I'll be talking about, maybe that will also help. And also potentially, depending on your veteran benefits, maybe your family will need benefits. So that's definitely something to connect with the VA about, to see what your benefits are, but also what your family benefits are. So the next option that I want to talk about, and it's another important option, is Medicaid. And so Medicaid it's a state administered program, and it's funded by each state and the federal government, and it is intended to provide health coverage for people with low income, and it includes families, pregnant women, seniors, people with disabilities. Eligibility is based on income and household size, and in many cases coverage is free or very low cost. Each state manages their own Medicaid program, so benefits and the rules absolutely vary by state. In addition to Medicaid is the CHIP program, and CHIP stands for Children Health Insurance Program, so CHIP, and that provides affordable healthcare coverage for children and families who earn too much income to qualify for Medicaid, but not enough income to qualify for private insurance or marketplace insurance that we'll talk about here in a second. So it's some of that, the income is kind of in the middle there. And so it is an option to help families provide coverage for children who are kind of on the bubble. And so it is a federal health insurance program for it's a state program to make sure that children get access to affordable health coverage. And I do also want to point out that Medicaid and CHIP are both income driven, and I'm going to talk about the next one is Medicare. So I know Medicare and Medicaid is definitely something that is highly confusing to folks because people interchange the two and get confused. So I want to point out that the last three letters of Medicaid is AID, AID. So that helps me remember that that is the state and federal program for low income, because it's an aid program. And the next program we're going to talk about is Medicare, and the last four letters of that is CARE. So that can help you remember that Medicare is the program for our individuals who are over the age of 65 or who or older, obviously, and for younger individuals who have certain disabilities. So Medicare comes also in different parts. You may have heard Medicare be identified by different letters of the alphabet. So for example, Part A, that covers hospital stays, and Part B, that covers doctor visits and anything that is an outpatient care. So anything that's inpatient, that's Part A. Anything that's outpatient, so doctor visits, outpatient surgery, that's Part B. Part D, that covers medicine, so prescription coverage. That is your Part D. So many folks still refer to that as the drug coverage. So that helps you remember Part D, drugs. Just kind of giving you the little tip there. There's also Medicare Advantage plans. That's Part C. And Part C or Medicare Advantage, that's an option that allows folks who choose that route to bundle services together. That allows you to bundle your Part A and your Part B and put it in together into Part C, and you can bundle that into one group, and you also can get extra benefits including dental and vision, and potentially can also put your prescription drug coverage into that one plan as well. And it allows your coverage to be very similar to the coverage that your typically familiar with typical insurance, where your insurance is all kind of together in one plan, where your prescription, your your doctor visits, and your hospital are all together in one. So that's Medicare Advantage or Part C. Some individuals will purchase the private health plans directly from insurance companies. These are sometimes called short-term or limited benefits plans. And while they offer lower premiums, they do not meet the requirements of the Affordable Care Act. So let me back up. I apologize. I moved forward and didn't explain that I'm moving forward from the Medicare and into the next type. So the next type that we're going to talk about is the private plans. So you will hear us refer to them as private plans because they are plans that you can purchase through private insurance companies, and some are large insurance companies and some are smaller independent insurance companies. But these particular plans do not meet all of the qualifications for the Affordable Care Act, which is an act, a federal law that was passed in 2010 that sets out some guidelines that in order to qualify for an Affordable Care Act compliant plan, you have to meet certain criteria. And I'm going to go over those criteria in detail in a future video. But some of the plans are available for, typically it is cheaper, and there are some portions of the plan that do not meet the standards set out in the federal law that is listed in the Affordable Care Act. So we refer to these as private plans. And many of these are considered not compliant with the the Affordable Care Act because they require people to medically qualify. That's one of the main reasons. And another is the fact that they may still require individuals who get the plan to have what's called pre-existing conditions. That means that if you already have a diagnosis or an illness, then the insurance company will not pay any doctor visits or doctor bills related to that illness that you already had. It's a pre-existing condition. And the Affordable Care Act did away with that in 2010. So any plan that is sold in the marketplace, which is the last plan we're going to talk about, they cannot allow that. So there are still some plans that are available through the private sector that have those restrictions on them. And so for those individuals who do not have a lot of health issues or pre-existing conditions, this still may be an option for you. But for the vast majority, the definite next most popular outside of the employer-sponsored coverage is the last one I'm going to talk about. So that's the main one that the American population utilizes if you do not have employer-sponsored coverage, is Marketplace coverage or Affordable Care Act coverage. Some folks still refer to it as Obamacare, but we definitely encourage you to refer to it as its official name. Healthcare.gov is where you will also potentially hear people refer to it as, because that's the website that you can find the different plans. So let's go into this last type. It's healthcare.gov, Marketplace, and also you will hear folks refer to it as ACA. Remember, ACA is the Affordable Care Act, which is that federal law that was passed in 2010, which puts some things in place which requires some standards that the plans that are available on the marketplace must meet these standards. And like I said, I'm going to go into a deep dive into that probably in tomorrow's video. And we're going to do a deep dive in all the details about what those laws and standards are. But today, just want to make sure that you understand that what you may want to understand about this particular plans is that they are plans that are comprehensive in nature. That means that they cover hospital visits, they cover doctor visits, and they are designed to meet the specific standards that are laid out by the Affordable Care Act. They cannot deny coverage for any pre-existing condition. They cannot ask any health questions. So that means that everyone has to qualify for them. So if you do not have access to health coverage through your employer, maybe you own your own business, or maybe your employer does not offer coverage, or perhaps your employer does not have 50 employees, so they are not offering, even if they offer the coverage, they're not offering to help pay for your coverage. So it's pretty expensive. Even if you do have access, it's fairly expensive. So you're looking for other options. So Affordable Care Act Marketplace Plans may be a good option for you. And if you have actual active doctor diagnoses or your own medications and things like that, then all of the plans that are available through the marketplace, they cannot ask any health questions, they cannot turn you away, they cannot charge you any more and of a premium because you have a current health issue. So that makes it really accessible for anyone who may be experiencing any of those. So depending also, another key point, depending on your household size and your income, there are subsidies available. And a subsidy is a tax credit that allows you to use your income tax, and you can get an advance on that. And again, I'm going to go into a whole video going into detail about this, but it allows you to have your out-of-pocket costs for your premiums to potentially be lowered. So that allows the American people to have access to lower cost health care, depending on whether you qualify or not. And so again, probably tomorrow's video, I'm going to do a deeper dive into that to see if you potentially qualify. But as you can see, that there are multiple different types of insurance plans, and there are some that you have to qualify for. For example, to qualify for VA benefits, you have to have served in the military. To qualify for Medicaid, there are income and household restrictions, and to qualify for marketplace plans, there's qualifications. In order to get your employer sponsored coverage, obviously you have to work somewhere where they're offering it. So the private plans are ones that you would have to qualify medically, for example. So each different type, there are qualifications, and there are also, in addition to qualifications, there are things that even if you qualify for one or more of the options, there may be choices that you may decide one or more of the options are better for you based on what your needs are, what your budget is, what your household size, all of those things. So definitely want to make sure that you understand that each different type of insurance serves a unique purpose, and based on your age, your income, your employment, your military service, all of these things come into play. So if you're unsure which type of plan is right for you, that's exactly what I'm here for, not only to provide this information in these videos, but to sit down with you and have one-on-one conversations if that would be helpful, so that we can walk through what your options are and help you decide what option to choose if you in fact are someone who has an option to choose between multiple options. So I I am focused on helping individuals, families, small business owners understand what your options are and find the coverage that fits your needs and your budget. So I encourage you to please reach out if you have questions. If you want to schedule a consultation, in the description of the video, I have left the link to my calendar. Feel free to reach out. My phone number is also in the description. It's 409-617-9014. And just remember that understanding your health insurance is the first step toward peace of mind. And if you or anyone you know is also interested in helping others navigate their insurance options, I also encourage you to reach out. I would love to talk to you about it. I'm also leaving a link to a job description that I have on LinkedIn. So if you're interested, please share, and I encourage you to apply or reach out, message me, call. I would be happy to give you more information about it. I really am passionate about helping people understand their options and have a conversation to give you your choices and empower you with the information to choose that. And if that is something you think you'd be interested in, I'd love for you to join the team. So I just want to thank everyone for watching, and I hope that you will share this information and join me tomorrow where we're going to do a deeper dive into ACA and all of the details of what that entails, and see if that's something that is potentially right for you. So until tomorrow, I'm Kayla Holloway with Holloway Health and Life Benefits, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.